So the whole DKOldies situation is getting tiring for a lot of people, and you know, I completely understand that sentiment. I get that people are tired of seeing YouTubers buy products from DKOldies and they come in and they're not up to snuff. Like, I get it. And this is a situation where, in my opinion, if you're just tired of the situation, you're tired of hearing about a certain topic, just don't check out the video. Like, I do that with, you know, content creators that I watch. If the topic isn't interesting to me, I won't cover it. But with the DKOldies situation, I am fascinated by it. I'm completely fascinated by it, not just from a business perspective, but from a psychological perspective, because you have to understand this. This company is well aware of what is happening to them. We've seen it time and time again where YouTubers, just even individual people, will buy a system or buy something from DKOldies and it comes in and it's crusty and it's disgusting. We saw it with Retro Rebound and the Nintendo GameCube, which just annoyed the hell out of me to the point of where I had to make a video on it. And then recently the Retro Future, a lot of retro talk on this channel here. The Retro Future, he bought some Game Boys. Like, you sold Game Boys to a Game Boy guy and they're crusty. Like, this is a collector here. He doesn't want to see it like that. So it's a situation where I understand why people are tired of the topic, but until something actually happens, until something actually changes, I feel like it is worth bringing up, because you got to remember, if they're doing this to people who have a following, imagine what they're doing to just like the random grandma who's buying a NES for her grandson for some reason. I don't know why she'd buy him an NES, but maybe he likes retro video games. So I want to have, you know, a talk with DKOldies. This is an open letter to DKOldies, because let's be real, they're obviously going to watch this video, because I'm not the biggest fish in the sea, but you know, I have a decent enough following, and these people clearly have a lot of time, which I will prove to you in this video. But it's time to have a come to Jesus meeting, or come to Jesus meeting. I mean, look at the mustache. But it's time to get real here, DKOldies. Like, just hear me out on this, and then at least I'll know that I did my part. I did my part to try to help you. And after this moment, after this video goes up and you watch this video, I feel like I'll have washed my hands clean of this. So here's the first thing, DKOldies. Stop this. Why in God's name do you have an active YouTube channel right now? Do you understand why people are mad at you? And to see you wasting time, like, oh my God, we're gonna get into some things here. Look at this, making this filthy GameCube shine. Would you look at this GameCube? Why in God's name is this in your inventory? DKOldies refurbishes their consoles. You made a whole video talking about how you refurbish your consoles when you're sending consoles that are clearly not refurbished. Do you understand what the word refurbished means? It doesn't mean that if there's, you know, a stain on the outside of the system that you simply wipe it off. This is opening up a system. This is cleaning out the system. This is testing the system, making sure that everything is working perfectly. And you do it with this system here, but you obviously don't do it with your other systems that you have. And that's kind of a problem here. But this to me is the one that takes the cake, because obviously you're trying to take the piss out of the fact that people are buying products from you and they're not in great condition, and you know, you're trying to mimic and essentially mock these people. You're trying to say, oh, you know, who cares what these YouTubers say? We'll make a video kind of taking the piss out of it. And like, on one hand, I understand it, but on the other hand, it's like, you are not in a position to be doing this, because this is not something like a YouTube opinion. Okay, let me bring a can, because you need to look into my eyes with this situation. This is not a situation where it's like you know, a YouTube opinion where I say this game sucks and people get mad at me, and I could be like, well, you know, maybe I was too harsh on this game. This is something that involves people and their hard-earned money, and you taking their hard-earned money and giving them a product that is inferior, giving them a product that is not what it is intended to be, giving them a product that does not match the description that you're giving for this product as a refurbished product, as a system or a game that has been refurbished. And then there's fundamental problems. There are tons of videos out there of this where you say a system is refurbished and it's not. And your response to this, instead of, you know, actually addressing the issues, instead of addressing the elephant in the room, your response to this is to do something like this, to make a video where you essentially take the piss out of things with the thumbnail. That is insane to me. You're doing these DKOldies shorts. This one really pissed me off because this kid is obviously an employee here. Maybe he's a freelance employee, but if you can't recognize, if you're a retro video game store and this is what you're selling, this is what you prioritize, and if someone can't recognize the sound of a PlayStation 1 because he gets the PlayStation 1 thing wrong, like, that's not someone who needs to be working there. But here's the thing, DKOldies. Surprisingly, I think you can right this ship because you do have one thing on your side that'll help you exponentially. Because at the end of the day, the average person who's just looking to buy a random retro video game is going to find your website because you have the algorithm on your website. Good old Al Gore with his rhythm. I don't know, that's a joke I make sometimes. But the algorithm, I mean, he did make the internet, is obviously on your side when it comes to searching for retro video games on places like Google. So the average person who doesn't know better is going to find your website and stumble upon your highly priced, ridiculous website. So here's a few things that you can do to actually save face in this situation, because I don't think it's over for you, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, because this is something you cannot take the piss out of and expect it to just go along like it has been and everything be fine, because people are catching on to you. First and foremost, address the elephant in the room. Be like, hey, you know what? We messed up. We've been sending out these systems, you know, and they're not refurbished. Or just say, you know, some of these, you don't even have to use certain terms like that. You can say, you know, some of these systems have not been up to our expectations, up to our standards, and we apologize from that. Going forward in the future, we will address these situations. We will have all of our systems in tip-top shape going forward. Secondly, you should be having pictures on your website of products. If something is in acceptable condition or has cosmetic flaws, show me the cosmetic flaws on your damn website. You can't take a picture of it? What do your employees do? Because I see all these different employees that you have on your YouTube channel, yet I don't know what these employees do, because you show these little pre-done videos of them essentially working, but I feel like nobody's working. Because to simply upload a picture of a product that you are selling to a consumer as something that is cosmetically flawed, why can't you show me what that cosmetic flaw is? Why can't you show me a picture of, you know, the refurbished system that I'm going to be getting? That's ridiculous to me. That you're pissing away your time doing this social media, you know, doing these YouTube shorts, doing these YouTube videos. Why the hell do you have a YouTube channel in the first place? Especially considering that the YouTube community is the one that's heavily against you right now. And instead of addressing the situations, instead of, you know, facing things head on and being like, hey, you know what? We screwed up. We apologize for that. In the future, we're going to do better. And here is how we're going to do better. We're going to show you actual pictures of the products that we're going to be selling on our via our website, so that you know exactly what you're getting into with this. Like, if eBay can do it, if Joe Schmo running an eBay business can show you multiple pictures of a product so you know exactly what you're getting before purchasing it, why the hell can't you? You got lazy. You got complacent. You just figured, oh, you know, we're charging over prices for these games anyways. We're making good money. You know, we're doing good business. We're on top of the algorithm. We're fine. But now things are starting to come to a head. You can't just hide. You can't just avoid these situations if you want to continue to be a good business. And I think you can actually, and this will probably get me heat, but I think you can actually help. I think you can actually be a good thing. Yes, you might be overpriced. You might be overpriced at the end of the day, but at least, you know, when that person who's uninformed about games, you know, who's maybe just buying a random game for their kid or a nephew or something like that, if they're buying something from your website, at least, you know, people will know that, hey, you know, at least they're getting a decent product. Because right now there is no confidence in you. There's no faith in you. There's no reason to believe that a person is going to get a competent product, because the stuff that you're sending out to people is disgusting. And if that's what you're doing to someone who happens to have a camera and who happens to have a following, what are you doing to people that don't have a camera, that don't have a following, that don't have a voice on a platform where they can show you, hey, these people ain't doing good business? Cut the shit, DKOldies. Cut the shit. I know you're watching this. Cut the shit. Face these problems head on, address these issues, and fix your business model. Because in the long run, it's going to be better for you. That's all I got to say about this. You know, I don't know. It's just, you know, an open letter, because I feel like they are going to watch this, and you feel free to send this to DKOldies, because, you know, they need to know I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber. I'm a DKOldies YouTuber. I don't know. This whole situation is just fascinating to me. And really, like I said, on the psychological level, it's fascinating because the guy, the blonde haired guy who's like the face of it, he almost looks like something out of like a video game, you know, like with the expressionless eyes and the weird smile that's like creepy, like he's been pumped full of like drugs or something, and it's like, all right, we gotta wheel him out there so he can do good things. Like, bro, just address the problems, address the situation in-house. Come out with a statement on your YouTube channel that for some reason you have. Come out with a statement on social media, and you could potentially save face with this. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think of all of this. Do you think they'll ever change? Do you think they'll ever better themselves? Or is this it? Is what you see is what you get with these guys, and it's never going to get any better? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.